Hey, my name is Nate. I run Jesus People SF, and today I want to talk briefly about the concept of heaven as a crystalline place, heaven as a place of a sea of glass, as Revelation chapter 4 says. And in Revelation chapter 4, the text says the following: After this, I looked, a door standing open in heaven. John is speaking in the first person. He's describing what he himself sees. And the first voice which I heard speaking to me like a trumpet said, "Come up here, and I will show you what must take place after this." At once I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne stood in heaven, with one seated on the throne. And he who sat there had the appearance of jasper and carnelian. Around the throne was a rainbow that had the appearance of emerald. Around the throne were 24 thrones, and seated on the thrones were 24 elders, clothed in white garments, with golden crowns on their heads. From the throne came flashes of lightning, and rumblings, and peals of thunder, and before the throne were burning 7 torches of fire, which are the 7 spirits of God. And before the throne there were, as it were, a sea of glass like crystal. Now, my only kind of question when it comes to this is, why is there a sea of glass around God's throne? And what is the significance? What does it mean? Well, if you remember in Genesis, the earth was made out of water. And even though many interpreters of Genesis would like us to think that this is a typological kind of thing only, like it's symbolic, the book of Peter actually literally emphasizes the fact that this is the mechanistic manner of how the earth was made. Peter literally says the cosmos was made out of water. And he's very emphatic. And he even says the enemies of God are distinguished because they do not acknowledge that the world is made out of water. And yet, what do you have in this picture of the throne of God? You have a picture of the throne of God upon a sea. But this is not a tumultuous, chaotic sea. This is a stationary sea. A sea that is like it's frozen in the picture of Jesus walking on water and stilling the waters. You see, these waters are so still that they have become crystalline. It is literally like a picture of God freezing the cosmos and creating his kingdom on top of the frozen remnants of chaos. Now, what's interesting about the creation being created out of water is the following. The creation is kind of chaotic. It's full of motion and energy. And that's something that water is known for. Water is a very, it always wants to go to the lowest point when it's in a place where gravity is present. And when there is much water, it is very violent. It can destroy life, it can destroy property, it can destroy mountains, it can destroy places, it can destroy buildings. It's very powerful. But it also has the power to build society, it has the power to build great metropolises. And if you do not have a source of water, you cannot build a metropolis. And so water has both destructiveness and creativeness to it. And you see this in the creation. There is great destructiveness in the creation. You look at a hurricane, what's it comprised of? It's largely water. And water has the ability to build things. It can be a centerpiece of a place of trade, a place of prosperity, a place of happiness. We think of seasides as pleasant things. We paint paintings of seasides. We build beach houses. We consider ports historically as places of prosperity, places where a nation's economic strong arm is seen. If you have a strong navy, you can rule the world, and that's still the case in the case of the United States. And part of the fear with China is that their navy is starting to become very, very large, and they can produce many more ships than we can, much faster than we can. With that said, going back to this question of why is heaven depicted as crystalline? Well, again, it just seems that God has kind of bookended. Where do we see this picture? It is in the book of Revelation, the very last book of the Bible. And it's at the bookend of human history in terms of cosmic history in the book of Revelation. It's describing the end of things. And heaven is bookended in some sense by the stilling of the chaos of time and space. God is winding down the madness of human wickedness, angelic wickedness in the devil's kingdom, and Goy, Gentile kingdoms are winding down in their power, their authority, their ability to rebel against God. It's brought to a close. And so that's really a picture of, people often joke about, something that really doesn't end. They'll say it'll happen when hell freezes over. But that's literally the picture of heaven as a crystalline place. God freezes the chaos. He turns it crystalline. A crystal thing is a very still thing. You think about a piece of ice. So long as it's not melting, it's very still. It doesn't move much. I'm not talking about molecular level. I'm just talking about in the sense of a stormy sea versus a giant piece of ice. It's a much different thing. So I don't really know what to tell you as far as the application for you and for me, but what I would say is that we live certainly in chaotic times. We don't seem to live as much as I would like in a crystalline, a tamed sea. We seem to live in the midst of a stormy sea, a sea that is raging and roaring against everything good. And so it's helpful to remember that there is a bookend coming. There is a taming of the sea where Christ will say to all the chaos of evil, man and angel, peace be still, and it will be still. Thanks so much.